Okay, so you want to know how to make a chart. Well, the first thing that you're going to do is make sure that you have your data all laid out. So here we've been doing an experiment about coins and the number of drops of water we could fit on them. So I have my data all laid out. So you're going to put your independent variable on the left side, and then the numbers that correspond to your independent variable on the right side. Like we were talking about in class, if we wanted to do something with plants, maybe we would talk about our plants here, and then have numbers like how tall they grew here. But for now, this is our data, so I'm going to show you how to work with it. So you want to highlight all the information that you want to include in your graph. We don't want to include this word average, that's just going to confuse the computer. So we're only going to highlight these 8 boxes for now. And as you can see, I've already clicked the Insert tab. So you would click Insert, and we're going to go to Insert Column Chart, because we want our bars to go up and down. And I know it's really tempting, there's a lot of options, but you're just going to click the first one. Look at that, we already have a nice looking graph. So I know this is very nitpicky, but this is how we're going to make our graphs look very nice. First thing, you want to make sure you get rid of these lines in between just by right clicking, and then I'm going to click delete, and it cleans up the area much better. Our chart title, we want to include all the information that we have here and give it a nice title to incorporate everything. So we're going to call it coin versus drops of water. So that way we know what two things we're comparing. Our independent variable is the coin, and we're comparing it to the number of drops of water we can fit on it. And then, to add a little bit more information, we want to insert labels for our axes. And as you know from math class, you've heard the word axis before. We have our y-axis and our x-axis. So we're going to label the x-axis. Okay, so the way that you're going to add an axis label is that when you click on your graph, these nice 3 little bubbles pop up, and you want to click the Add Axis Titles. So to change the wording, we're going to call this one number of drops. And we're going to call this one type of coin. Oops. And the final thing is we want these to be black. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to right click on the bar, fill with black ink instead of blue ink, so that way when you print it out it looks nice and doesn't have that kind of grayish hue if you're using a black and white printer and trying to use color. So right now, anyone could come and look at our data and say, oh, obviously the quarter can fit the most number of drops on its surface. You have a nice looking graph. Good job.